Hey guys, it's Kingdom Orange 2 here, and welcome back to my channel. So originally, I had this idea to rank every single Bratz character that was ever produced, but then I realized it was going to take way too long and be a bit difficult, so instead I've decided to pick 25 of the best Bratz characters ever created by MGA. Now this list does include some characters that may or may not have been turned into dolls, and some of them I've just decided to group together to make my life easier. Also, real quickly, the main 4 Bratz won't be included. That would be just way too controversial. So with that, let's get this list started. Number 25 is Dresden. She only had one doll ever produced, but I find her to be absolutely stunning. The curls in her hair, the headband, and her outfit are all really beautiful, and I also just love that there's a city in Germany that was clearly named after her. Number 24 is Sierra and Diana. The Bratz princess line is probably one of my favorites of all time, and Sierra and Diana are the epitome of why this line is perfect. I love how these twins are not only marketed as the wicked stepsisters for the princesses, but I think their punk princess designs are really pretty, and I've always really liked their faces and hairstyles. Now they are lower on this list because we never got to see them in any sort of media, but I feel like these girls could have been the better Tweevils. Maybe. Number 23 is Peyton and Nevaeh. Just like Sierra and Diana, the second I laid eyes on these twins, I absolutely adored them. I used to pretend that Peyton was an angel and her evil twin was Nevaeh, who was a devil, and she had to go find her. Now while I do actually prefer Sierra and Diana's overall look better, I like how these twins have more of an individual style to them, as well as different textured hair, so that's why I rank them higher on the list. Number 22 is Oriana, Valentina, and Sierra. If you didn't know, Oriana and Valentina were first released as a Bratz twin set before they re-released them with Sierra. Now, despite Oriana and Sierra both being really dumb names, I've always really loved each and every one of these girls. Their hair colors are really cute, as well as each of their individual styles. Also, Sierra's Sweet Dreams Pajama Party doll has got to be one of my favorite Bratz dolls of all time. Number 21 is Portia and Paulita. For some reason in 2009, Bratz decided to release dolls for both Chloe and Yasmin's moms as part of the Bratz World Families line. And while Yasmin's mom, Portia, appeared briefly in the Bratz Kids Sleepover Adventure movie, her doll form is wearing a tracksuit, making her look exactly like Regina George's mom in the movie Mean Girls. Chloe's mother, Paulita, has appeared in the Bratz live-action movie, though her name is credited as Katie in this film. I don't know, personally to me, both of these dolls look exactly like they would be horrible mothers, but I just find it funny that the Bratz designer made these cringy dolls for them. They're almost so bad that they're great, if that makes sense. Number 20 is Gran. I had to include Gran on this list because I love how chaotic she is. Gran's a bad bee who can hardly see, forgets things, and falls asleep on the couch. However, despite some of her negative qualities, she's probably the kindest, most caring, and chillest grandma in the Bratz universe, and even though we never found out exactly whose grandma she was, I wish she was mine. Number 19 is Dee. Dee is such a strange character to me because unlike Portia and Paulita, her doll resembles a teenager. I'm not exactly sure why the designers decided to make a doll for her instead of her daughter Cymbeline, but maybe they didn't want to sell another redhead in the line. Honestly though, the only reason why I put Dee on this list is because I find mom dolls to be hilarious, so she's number 19. Number 18 is Ginger. Poor Ginger was just a young girl that wanted to invite Sasha and her friends over for a sleepover, and they just flat out terrified her the whole night. Now obviously I decided to include her on this list due to the sheer fact that the Bratz writers weirdly decided to make a supposedly dead 7-year-old a character in one of their movies, but I don't know, I think it's really sad whatever happened to Ginger, and I hope Bratz never breaks my heart like that again. Number 17 is Byron Powell. I love how much Byron Powell was a good mentor and friend to the Bratz. He really gave them a lot of opportunity to further their careers as well as take them on cool adventures. Now I do know that he often slipped up and did things to betray the Bratz for personal gain, but I don't think that ever made him a genuinely bad person. Funny thing I was gonna mention was how I wished he would have changed his black shirt and pants, and then I remembered how Simon Cowell, despite having millions of dollars, wore a t-shirt and jeans to American Idol auditions. Number 16 is Nevra. I love that the creators of Bratz put Nevra and Roxy in a lesbian relationship. However, to be honest, I feel like Nevra is one of those Bratz characters that I know or really care next to nothing about. The only thing I can remember about her is she was the one who told Sasha about all the disasters that occurred during the prom in Starn and Stylin. Besides that, she does have some really cute dolls like her 2-pack with Roxy and her Dynamite doll, but unfortunately, I've just never been that big of a Nevra fan. Number 15 is Fiona. I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this because I know that Fiona is very popular and an iconic character, but I just never really felt any strong feelings towards her. I'm not really a big fan of Fiona's dolls outside of the Bratz Princess lineup, and I just felt like even though we did get to see Fiona in an episode of the Bratz TV series, she doesn't really have that much of an interesting personality. Honestly though, that might not be a fair assumption because she was played by Jessica DeCiccio, using the same exact voice she did for Roxy and Sheridan. Number 14 is Dana. Just like a lot of characters on this list, Dana made very little appearances in Bratz media. And as much as I do love Dana's overall look, I never felt like we were given any semblance of Dana's personality. Now I do prefer a lot of her dolls to Fiona's, so that's why I ranked her a bit higher on this list, but I just also wish they would have at least shown her on the Bratz TV series. Number 13 is Sheridan. To be completely fair to the girls that came before her on this list, I don't really think that Sheridan has that interesting of a personality. She's a bit socially awkward, but is a talented designer and kind of a badass, seeing that she was the one to stop Mandy from getting away with those diamond go-go boots. However, I've always thought she had one of the prettiest faces for a Bratz doll. I absolutely love her Forever Diamonds doll, and that they also included her in the Bratz the Movie dolls lineup, even though we never actually got to see her in the film. Number 12 is Megan. Megan is an interesting one for me. I feel like she is the perfect character to take the place of a 5th Bratz doll, but for some reason, the only time she ever made a significant appearance in Bratz media was in the movie Bratz Kids Sleepover Adventure. The thing about Megan is her appearance changes way too often. Sometimes she is absolutely perfect and has really red hair with blue eyes, but there's so many dolls where her hair is like auburn and her fashions are just boring. I'm actually really bummed that the repro doll they chose to do was her Express It doll because I find her hair and face to be so lackluster. If they really made an effort to make better Megan dolls and place her in more media, she would probably be way higher on this list, but unfortunately she's like slab in the middle. Number 11 is Kumi. What's really strange to me is that even though Kumi was never shown in any Bratz media besides the small cameo she had in the Bratz Forever Diamonds video game, I think she has a lot of potential for a great storyline. She's literally from Japan, and the Bratz could have had an episode where they met her there, or they could have met her when they went to Paris because she's in the Ooh La La line. But I guess the writers just got lazy and decided to give her outfit to Jade instead. Besides that though, all of Kumi's dolls are super cute. I'm very fond of her Sweet Dreams Pajama Party doll, and I hope MGA decides to remake her Tokyo A Go-Go edition like they promised they would. Number 10 is Phoebe. Phoebe is such an underrated Bratz character who never truly gets the recognition and prestige she deserves. I personally think almost every single one of her dolls is perfect, especially her Hollywood, Birthday Bash, and Eye Candy dolls. To me, I never really understood why Phoebe wasn't shown in any Bratz media outside of the video games. I wonder if they didn't want to introduce twins on the show because they already had the Tweevils, but I always thought introducing her could have been an interesting storyline. I really just pray now that MGA decides to make a reproduction doll for her soon. Number 9 is Roxy. In all fairness, I do actually like Phoebe as a character more. However, I decided to place Roxy higher on this list for a couple of reasons. Both Roxy and Phoebe do have excellent dolls, and I really enjoy her Rock Angels, Treasure, and Princess outfit, but in terms of storyline, Roxy is just better. I love that they made her a rock star in a band and that they decided to give her a relationship with Nevra. However, I still never really found her to have that interesting of a personality, but again, I feel like this might be due to Roxy having Jessica DeCiccio as a voice actress, when she should have really had someone with an edgier tone portray her. Number 8 is Felicia. Felicia only had about 2 dolls, but we all knew about her because her campfire doll was one of the most expensive Bratz people would come across on eBay. But then in 2021, we finally got to see Felicia in animated form as the host of the TikTok show Talking Bratz, and Felicia was fun, bubbly, and quick-witted. Now, as much as I really didn't like any of the outfits they placed her in on the Talking Bratz show, I do think all of her dolls are really stunning and unique. I will say though that I don't understand the hype behind her campfire doll because her Sweet Dreams pajama party doll is clearly superior. Number 7 is Katya. Katya isn't just an ordinary Bratz character, she's also a genie. Well, at least she was a genie until she broke her bottle at the end of the first film, but I've already spoken about that. Anyways, I've always really enjoyed Katya's personality in the movies. She might be a bit naive about the outside world, but I love how she doesn't understand slang, kind of like an old grandma who's trying to be young and cool. Besides that though, I'm glad she reappeared for a sequel, and I think her dolls are really cute, especially her Genie Magic outfit. I have a really fond memory of waking up on my 8th birthday and finding the Genie Magic bottle on my kitchen table. Number 6 is Brianna. Brianna has gotta be one of the most underrated Bratz characters. For starters, even though her doll's outfit is a bit boring, her hair, face, and wings are absolutely stunning. I also really just loved her personality in the Bratz Fashion Pixies movie. She's sweet, charming, and really endearing. I will say though, I've always hated her design in the movie. That hairstyle is atrocious, and I don't know why they redden her hair so much, but I know that these designs were based on the prototype, so I can't really fault the animators there. Now, even though I'm not sure how I would have liked Brianna in a regular Bratz doll head and body, I wish the writers would have put her in another Bratz movie or in a TV episode. Number 5 is Meredith. I've never really understood Meredith's motives for wanting to keep everyone in cliques besides being a complete control freak, but honestly, I love everything about her. She isn't afraid to stoop really low to get what she wants, she's threatening, and she's involved in a love triangle between Chloe and Cameron. I think Chelsea Staub did an excellent job with playing such a convincing villain, and it's a shame that she's only a character in the live action movies because she would be a great adversary against the Bratz. I also want to point out that It's All About Me and I'm Fabulous are complete bops. Number 4 is Berdine. Berdine is so melodramatic about everything, and I absolutely love it. She has some of the best quotes from the show, such as,
"Do you know you are talking to the founder, president, editor-in-chief, queen of fashion?"
Or this one.
Fired! Fired! Fired!
The one thing I guess I never really understood was how she always ends up making herself look like such a joke and why people say that she is so out of touch. I mean, she did have a successful fashion magazine at a time, even though she seems to be the only person that runs it. Regardless of that, while most of us thought we would grow up to be one of the members of the Bratz, we turned out to be more just like Berdine. Number 3 is Lena. Lena may have only made one appearance in Bratz Fashion Pixies, but she still has got to be one of my favorite Bratz characters of all time. Just how menacing she not only looks but sounds is perfect to me. I think the fact that she was also such a threat to the Bratz but never really interacted with them made her super scary as well. Now, one thing I've always loved about Lena was her goth appearance, but if you look at her doll, they are drastically different from each other. I have heard that the reasons the dolls look so different from their appearances in the film was because retailers deemed the prototypes to be too dark. But what doesn't make sense to me is Lena's prototype still has her with red hair. I don't know if her appearance was changed a couple times after she was animated, but I think her makeup, skin color, black and red hair, and her wings would have looked really cool in doll form. Number 2 is Dylan. I don't really like the persona that Dylan tries to put on as this ladies' man who thinks he's super cool and can do whatever he wants. However, since this is just really an act and deep down he's a sweetheart, I can cut him a lot of slack. I think Dylan is a hilarious dork and do really enjoy seeing him in movies. I'm also really happy he finally settled down with someone, even though that someone is Anna, who I don't like because she's probably one of the most boring Bratz characters of all time. Besides that though, he's the most interesting and fleshed out boy in the Bratz universe, so he deserves a high spot on this list. And finally, number 1 is the Tweevils. So one thing that I never understood was during the first part of Bratz Rock Angels, the twins were described as evil and were seen as kind of mean bullies, hence their name Tweevils. But over the course of the film and in the entire franchise, they just turned out to be delusional buffoons. Now, MJ does have a history of making their evil twins turn into clowns. I'm looking at you, Rainbow High Season 3. Regardless of that though, I just love how dumb Casey is and how Kirsty always calls her out for being stupid but actually miscorrects her. Now, I do feel like when their voices were changed, the new actresses made the Tweevils sound too unbearably annoying. However, with the release of this special edition's Tweevils 2-pack, it really reminded me just how awesome these characters truly are. I know that they were supposed to mock Barbie, but at the same time, they became iconic all on their own. So that was my list for the top 25 Bratz characters. Make sure to share your opinions down below, what you thought of my list, what you would have changed, or who you would have added. Feel free to check out both my Instagram and TikTok pages. It's the same username for both, and I love meeting new people and talking with everybody. If you liked this video today and want to see more content in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and I will see you soon. Bye!